Week 15 of the National Football League, and we'll see DJ Moore. He rises when it matters most, and he comes in third in the NFL in touchdown receptions. It's the Bears and the Browns, next on Madden NFL 24.
A December chill is in the air coming off of Lake Erie, but folks here bundled up, ready for football at Cleveland Browns Stadium in downtown Cleveland. Today, Week 15 in the NFL, we've got a great matchup in store, as it'll be the Chicago Bears taking on the Cleveland Browns.
Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. They come into this one off a bit of a clunker last time out, a loss that ended their 5-game winning streak. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, they've been flawless all year long as they hit the home stretch at 13-0.
And now they just have to guard against complacency. You still got to go out and earn it every week.
The byes are over. It's now a 4-week sprint to the finish, and we are underway here in Week 15. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. Now, the Cleveland offense ready to go to work behind the 3-time Pro Bowler Deshaun Watson in his second season now as a Brown, number 7 overall.
And there was a positive in last week's loss. No interceptions thrown by him. But he only threw 1 touchdown pass, and you know he wants that to improve. He might even consider that as part of the reason that they couldn't take the win last time out. I believe we'll see a more aggressive version of him this week whenever they're nearing the end zone.
And he is going to lose yardage here. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
At the 23-yard line.
They'll go again with Strong.
And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
You look at this Bears defense.
They were terrific a week ago in the win over the Lions.
I just consider myself fortunate that I'm not in charge of the offensive line. They gave up 7 sacks last week. And if things don't improve in this game...
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. It'll be a sack and a loss of 3, but more importantly, it brings up 4th down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes.
And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
A great return there of 22 yards. And it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10.
So here come the Bears to take over on offense behind their 3rd-year quarterback, former Ohio State Buckeye Justin Fields.
And he's had such a sensational season to this point, leading the NFL in passing yards. He's been helped out a lot by an outstanding set of receivers, and he's quick to give them credit. But I think even they would tell you that he's the guy that makes this offense go.
Now it's Fields off the bootleg.
Open man, this is Lewis. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the first.
Good job there of getting his tight end involved because he lines up on the right side of the formation, just works his way across the field. I really like how they were in sync on that one. He spotted the open gap in the zone, and his quarterback found him, and they get a first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
To throw is Fields.
Completes it left side to the tight end Lewis. Now this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
A gain of 9.
The numbers for him from a week ago. 5 catches, 51 yards.
And he's able to pull that last pass in, but this is usually a pretty tough unit to try and maneuver against. They're in the top 10 in the league against the pass, and you and I both know there's not much difference between 1 and 10.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted. Well, that winds up falling incomplete.
This offense, Charles, what we talked about how well they played all season, sitting now at 13-0 at the finish line for a perfect regular season. That's in sight. Some of the media this week were pointing back to the 07 Patriots. Of course, remember, they finished the regular season unbeaten, but they were tested multiple times in that final month plus.
Yeah, with something like 4 of their last 6 wins were one-possession games, and they played like a team that was trying to protect something instead of chasing something. And that's what happens when you have an undefeated record. So it behooves you as a team, get a couple blowouts in there so you get a chance to relax and breathe. But that's much easier said than done.
12 more yards for him there. It's a first down.
Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Look out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You're talking about a guy who
got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown.
Corey Blasingame,
his first touchdown on the year.
and the Bears get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon.
One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Santos with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So this drive spans 7 plays, and the end result is a Bears touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
Peoples-Jones going to elect not to run this out, and they'll begin at the 25.
Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
Get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Give up the middle to Strong.
Now the ball comes loose.
Oh, one of the linebackers has got it.
And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. The Bears with the football. We get set to begin quarter number 2. As they get set to start their drive with a 1st and 10.
Following the fumble recovery, Fields.
He's got the connection to Moore.
And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Back to throw. Fields.
Touchdown, Bears! DJ Moore, his 17th touchdown now on the season.
And the Bears are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
The full team is involved in this game early, aren't they? Go down the field, score on offense, take the ball away on defense, and go right back and score again. You got to like the way that's working for them.
That's exactly right. Touchdown, turnover, touchdown, 2-score lead. A little bit like you at breakfast this morning. I got to get this in. You had a perfect omelet, dropped it. So a little bit of a turnover. You went right back, though, and got that omelet and crushed it.
You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
You got to do what you got to do.
Don't worry about your hands, though.
Yeah.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
Peoples-Jones going to elect not to run this out, and they'll begin at the 25.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field.
Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive.
Watson on first down.
And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
Really good coverage all over the field, and it took away his intended read and almost dared him to try and put his guy out of the backfield. No surprise on that one. It doesn't connect.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 13.
And not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first.
Looking for strong, and it's intercepted. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
There's DJ Moore as he and the rest of the offense head back out there. He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally, he feels like he's one catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that road. And the defenders are well aware of that, too. They've got to figure out a way to not let that escalate. Keep him right in this zone here and call it a day, because otherwise, he can really decimate him.
Better believe they are well aware of his playmaking ability.
Fields now to throw.
Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time.
That's complete to Mooney.
And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10.
The Fields is off, and on comes Cairo Santos for the Chicago field goal.
Santos' kick is up and through.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away.
Peoples-Jones going to elect not to run this out, and they'll begin at the 25.
Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up third down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in under pressure now. Watson, and down he goes. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. On fourth down, on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Fielded just inside the 30.
Found good room to run there. Returns it 14 yards.
And the Bears take over.
The Chicago offense set to get started.
Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material.
He'll fire deep, looking for more.
And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains.
He's going to look deep for more. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Chicago. DJ Moore with his second touchdown here in this first half.
And the Bears continue to pull away here in this first half. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big strike like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Santos with the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
Peoples-Jones going to elect not to run this out, and they'll begin at the 25. The Browns now going to take over late in this first half. And Charles, you're down multiple scores, less than a minute left here, but with that deficit, they've got to try to at least work their way into field goal range to try to muster something out of this drive.
And I'm going to go ahead and date myself one more time because I'm going to quote an old Smokey and the Bandit lyric. They've got a long way to go and a short time to get there, but they still have time to get it done. So I'm looking forward to watching them mount this drive and see if they can get some points out of it.
Now they got to get to the line quickly. A shotgun snap for Watson. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1.
That's complete. It's Elijah Moore.
And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Watson. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
That's a big force incompletion there to bring up 3rd and long, and this defense can still salvage a little momentum by forcing them to kick a field goal because just a few plays ago, they looked like they were headed towards the end zone.
Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it, and this is picked up by the Bears. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Hey, we can preach ball security all we want here, but how about that effort on defense? Excellent job inside the red zone. Just took away at least 3 points by forcing that fumble.
Here we go.
All that remains is to snap this once, and that'll do it for the first half of play. So we reach halftime with the visiting Bears out on top here. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll begin up at legendary Lambeau Field in Green Bay. And it's the Buccaneers who are out in front with that game closing in on halftime. Mike Evans, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. We'll stay in the NFC North as we head over to the Motor City to check on the Lions at home in Detroit. And they were winners in that one as they take care of the visiting Denver Broncos. Jared Goff leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. Lastly, let's head to Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati to see what's happening with the Bengals. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Minnesota Vikings. Joe Mixon, well over 100 yards on the ground with 3 touchdown runs. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
He takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
The Bears offense making their way out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the NFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, this team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through, and I think
that's caught inside the 20. Touchdown.
Chase Claypool,
74 yards.
And the Bears come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
Now the point after try for Santos. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
Peoples-Jones going to elect not to run this out, and they'll begin at the 25.
Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the third quarter.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late. That wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
On 1st and 10, it's Strong to about the 40-yard line. Well, this defense, they've got the 4-score advantage, and you can see why they continue to bottle up the run game, and really they've just been sharp in all facets here in this one, CD.
Yeah, they've kept that offense in check the entire game, and I think it's been led by what you just talked about, that defensive front, which has not allowed them to run the football and establish control of the line of scrimmage.
It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson able to shake him off. But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down.
That was a corner blitz, and it was Kyler Gordon getting in there for the sack.
The Browns send out their punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback.
DJ Moore headed back out as the Bears take over on possession.
And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Here's Fields.
Throw left side complete. That's Lewis. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great
That's caught inside the 20. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Boy, this has just been an offensive clinic. It's seemingly been one big play after another, and add this one onto the list. When you can bite off more than half the field on one play, things are definitely working in your favor.
Here we go.
Throwing again is Fields. That's to Moore, and he's got it. Touchdown, Bears.
His third touchdown of the game, number 19 on the year.
And the Bears will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the third.
He was on point throwing the ball right there. He had the big play to get him down close, and then he delivers a touchdown pass on 1st and goal.
And you mentioned the big play that got him down close. I think that big play left them reeling a little bit. They didn't recover from it. And you know, they always talk about having to have a short memory on defense after a big play against you. Looks like their memory was a little too long there.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
Peoples-Jones going to elect not to run this out, and they'll begin at the 25. Cleveland offense making their way out. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Watson on 3rd down.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we're back now here in Cleveland. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair.
And good yardage there on 1st down, because sometimes all you need to do on the screen is get one key block. That might set your man free, and that was pretty good pursuit to the football defensively, or it could have gone for more.
Draw play to Ford. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Again, they turn to Ford. He'll get about 6 there as he takes this one down to the 24-yard line.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I keep going back to him.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
From the gun, here's Watson.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete. Following the play here, now we've got an injury. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment.
Gold on for the field goal. A 42-yard attempt.
The kick by Gold is good, and they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
There's DJ Moore as he and the rest of the offense head back out there. Well, this defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him, bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Foreman's going to get it again on 2nd down.
And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on 1st down quickly negated. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Loss of 2 yards. And it's 3rd down.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away.
Here's Fields. Looking deep here for Mooney.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Santos now to add the PAT. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive.
And finishing it all off was Darnell Mooney with a touchdown reception.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
Peoples-Jones going to elect not to run this out, and they'll begin at the 25.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field.
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
On 1st and 10, Watson. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Out of the gun, Watson.
That is caught.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 35. Nice 3rd down conversion and even 20 yards. Off of play action, it's Watson.
And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 21.
That's good for another Cleveland Browns. 1st and 10.
One last throw here for Watson. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go.
So it looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
And this is going to be caught. So offensive final score, not the outcome, but it is a great touchdown here on the game's final play. Doesn't affect the outcome, but hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are ones that we don't consider big at the time. Then later on we find out maybe that was a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Or, of course, in the fantasy football world, these points mean a lot.
A lot there. Well, on the one side, if you try to take away something positive from this game, they played to the final whistle, getting the touchdown there on the last play, but still, all for naught, really.
Yeah, I'd say give them points for positivity. I like that. That part is good. But I often wonder, when the game is settled and the clock is run out, do we really need to kick the extra point?
Oh, yeah. It's silly.
It doesn't make any sense to me. I know that people have explained before, well, you got to play it all the way through. Come on, this thing was done.
So for the Bears, they move ever closer to the perfect regular season as they run things to 14-0. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Browns, they'll drop to 10-4 on the year. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
Why would I hold him out for ransom when my scope like Richard Branson? Since the basement making items over seasons with the man in black.